Hi folks, Daniel here and welcome back to the Jet Fuel Only channel. I'm here with my 21 GT4 and it's up on quick jacks right now because I've got a few projects going on, of course more videos to come, but today I want to tell you about my awesome first track day in the GT4. Of course, one of the ultimate experiences of owning a Porsche is taking it to the track because motorsport is in the soul of Porsche. And yeah, the curvy roads near your house are just fine, but there's nothing like going to the track, especially when you have a car that's built for it, like the GT4. Now, I'm also excited about this because, well, I don't do a lot of track days. I have years of autocross experience, but that excitement comes at a much different pace. And on the track, there's plenty of pucker factor, if you know what I mean. Oh, shit. And yeah, I'm not a pro driver. There are some YouTubers out there that are pro drivers, but maybe you are a little closer to me than you are to those pro drivers in the sense that you've never been to the track or you've only had a few track days and maybe you're interested in wondering, how does it go if I take my car to the track? Well, you're gonna experience all that with me as well as what it's like to drive this thing at the track. Now, before we get to the track action, real quick, I want to plug this shirt. I really love it. It says PDK all day because, yeah, it's a PDK car. I know, manual haters, don't worry. There's stuff for you too at the store that I got this shirt, and I'm going to tell you where you can find it, but you got to stick around to the end. So until then, let's get to the track action. It is almost 9 p.m. and I am at a racetrack. That's right, at night, because they did a thing where we can come out here and camp, and then tomorrow morning, it's a race day. That's right, we're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm at Thunderhill Raceway. It's out here in Northern California, and I have set up that yellow tent back there. Yeah, I'm sleeping in a tent here on the concrete. It's okay, I got an air mattress, and the car's all ready to go for tomorrow. I'm pretty excited, except it's really hot here. I mean, it's probably in the 80s right now, and it's almost 9 p.m. and tomorrow it's gonna peak out at 107 degrees. So I'm not looking forward to that part, but I've got lots of water and we're gonna have a lot of fun. At Thunderhill, you're usually either doing the 3-mile course or the 2-mile course, and tomorrow we actually have access to both of them. So I don't know which one I'm gonna pick. So I'm gonna be going to bed pretty soon, I guess, because we're gonna wake up early, but it's cool that I met these guys here. This is Legend with his Supra, and I didn't catch the other guy's name yet. He's got a Miata. It's funny because Legend actually knows Vince, who has the red Miata. You've seen in many of my videos, and Legend's actually followed my videos for Miata brakes and stuff when he had a Miata. So it's just cool to have a little bit of a connection here, because otherwise I'm just flying solo. So I'm gonna get everything put away, maybe just do some chatting and then hit the hay, because tomorrow is gonna be a fun and surely exhausting day.
It's 5:30. I gotta get up, have some breakfast, some coffee, and then time to drive.
After breakfast, I went down to the driver's meeting. This event was being held by OnGrid. It was their pre-charity party where we got to use both tracks. At the meeting, they reviewed all the rules, the flags, and the schedule where we would be running once and then wait 20 minutes, go the second track, and then take an hour break to let the cars cool down. Quickly, let me show you how my cameras are set up and how I'm gathering timing information. I have the GoPro on the crossbar in the rear to watch my driving. I have my Track Addict app, a free app running on an old Android phone, powered by USB all the way down the weather stripping, behind the seat, and into this USB port in the 12-volt plug. The GoPro is also plugged in, so I don't have to worry about batteries there. At the front of the car, I also have another GoPro running on batteries for the splitter cam view. I'll change up the camera angles throughout the day. Headed out to the West Course. I was back at the West Course in October, so the course is familiar, but the car wasn't, so I took it easy for the first couple laps and just worked my way up, pushing a little harder each time I went around. The Track Addict app doesn't only time your laps, but it times each sector and can keep track of your highest and lowest speeds in each turn. So this is a great way to analyze your driving. All right, that was the first run. I have to admit, it was a little more uncomfortable than I thought it was. You know, I just couldn't quite feel how the car needed to be. So then I just, remembered mid-engine, we're gonna brake a little bit, get the nose point the right direction, and then gently accelerate out or stay somewhat neutral through the turns and then really accelerate out of those exits. So it's about time to go to the other track now, and I get to be more uncomfortable with another route. And then I'll go back to the other track, hopefully gain some more confidence, and so on.
Moving to the east track, I found myself getting more comfortable because I knew that track a little better, and I think it's a little less technical. Overall, my confidence built throughout the day, and I got faster and faster, eventually running about the same times as the Cadillac. However, it's pretty clear that the limitation was my skill, not necessarily the car, because I've seen videos of the GT4 going much faster on these tracks. If you're interested in seeing my fastest laps on the east course and the west course, at least the ones that my timing system were able to capture, I've posted those in separate videos, as I think those are shorter videos that certain people just want to see other cars running on those courses. All the footage you see today will be from the cameras mounted to the car because I didn't have anybody today to do the exterior video, but I did manage to grab these photos from Aries Photo, the on-site photographers. These are really great. All the cars are divided into 5 groups, and when you sign up, it's all based on experience. Group 5 being the highest experience, and Group 1 being the lowest experience. I was in Group 2, which was also the largest group, so split up into 2 subgroups. It's probably a little unusual for someone of my experience to be driving a car as capable as the GT4, so I kind of ended up being mixed in with a lot of slower cars and also inexperienced drivers, kind of like myself, but I really never found myself in a position where I needed to give anybody a point by, and some cars I ended up even lapping. But there were a few drivers out there that I really enjoyed chasing and eventually passing, like this one in this 991 911. I believe this is just a base Carrera, and sorry for the blurry footage. Remember, this is only Group 2. This isn't all-out passing due to just better skill or anything, but I'm basically hanging on the tail and waiting for them to say, okay, you know what, you should go by because you're going faster. So you kind of have to just hang back until they notice you in the rear view and let you go by. But once passing, I felt confident that it was right for me to go by because I only increased the distance between us. It was interesting to see how the 911 and the GT4 compared to each other on the straights. I was surprised the GT4 did pull on the 911. In this case, I did have to let off, waiting for him to notice me to give me the point by. And here's another instance coming up on the straight on the west course. However, we don't know anything about the car, whether the driver was even going full throttle, but because the rules in my group require that the driver ahead give a point by, there were plenty of times I had to let off, waiting for him to point me by to do a safe pass. Some other amazing cars I encountered on the course were this Jaguar F-Type, this pretty quick C4 Vet, and this C43 AMG Mercedes. The driver was doing a really good job with this beast. I gotta say, the chase is actually a lot of fun because you not only have to focus on the track, but you also gotta focus on that car that's up ahead and make sure you don't run into the back of them, of course. At one point I caught up to this 981 Boxster, and this guy was definitely going all out. Many times he started to lose control of the car and I had to slow to make sure that I didn't run into him if he spun out. And he would catch certain corners in the dirt and throw rocks at my car. That was kind of annoying. I chased him for a full 2 laps, I think, letting off a lot until he finally let me pass. Later, he explained that he was just trying to get his best lap time, but at the same time, he was keeping me from getting mine. Honestly, at this level, we probably shouldn't even be chasing lap times. We should be focusing on driving smooth and finding the best lines and getting consistency, but it's really tough to not want to see how fast you can go. Another pile of rocks at my car, and then finally he got up to a slower car and tried to pass on the outside, and that didn't work so well. I think he finally gave up and just let me go by. On a couple occasions I came across cars that had spun out, and little did I know that my turn was coming a little later in the day. In another session after a fun chase of the 911 and C43 AMG, I eventually passed them, and then I got caught off guard by one of the trickier turns on Thunderhill East. Going over this crest causes your car to lose traction based on reduced weight on the wheels, and it's off camber on the other side. Boy, it's tricky, and I knew exactly when I'd screwed up, and I reacted too late to save myself from the slide.
Wait for it. Oh,
As soon as possible, I got my car off the track to be safe, waited for traffic to go by, and then continued on. Of course, this meant I got a black flag, which means go back to the pits and get a talking to.
Busted.
Hello there.
Hi.
Well,
How many demerits?
demerits? Oh, demerits. Well, that's a wild place to go off. All I can say is slow down a little bit. You'll be a lot better off.
Yeah. Okay.
Hit your marks and go
Thank
for it
you.
again. Have
All
a good
right.
time.
Wow, she was actually pretty nice about that, and so it was a good wake-up call to chill out and maybe not go so hardcore.
Turn traction control back on for this one. Getting a little lively.
I think that having only the stability off and still leaving the traction control on is what kept the spin from being much worse. Wow, what an incredible hot day. This is definitely more machine than I am driver, and I've got a lot of work to do to keep up with it, but boy, was it fun. With the heat though, about 3/4 of the day, a lot of people started packing up. I made it a little bit longer than that, but I still left early. I was so exhausted, I had so much to pack up, plus a 2.5-hour drive home. Whew. But lots of fun, obviously. Oh, and of course, the shirt that I said I liked so much, PDK all day, this shirt and other cool Porsche related stuff is available at the Auto Amateur website. Auto Amateur is a YouTube channel and podcast hosted by my buddy James, a really nice guy that totally deserves your views and listens. He does a lot of stuff on his channel that you probably appreciate about mine, like how-tos and even some how not to do, because it's Auto Amateur, not Auto Pro. He also has brought together the Porsche Connected Universe, as in a lot of the other Porsche YouTubers out there. I've really appreciated that. Even I've been on his podcast, so be sure to check out those episodes. I'll put all the links in the description below, and of course a link here to James's channel, Auto Amateur. You want to check it out. All right, that's it for this episode. Be sure to look forward to other videos like prepping your Porsche for the track and many others. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified when future videos come out. Thanks so much for watching the Jet Fuel Only channel. We'll see you next time.